David, good morning. Take me back to Monday with Dez Bryant. What was supposed to happen and what did or didn't happen?
Well, Dez Bryant suffered a knee injury in Sunday night's game against Chicago, came back and played and actually scored a touchdown late in the game on a slant play, ran over two Bears defenders to get in, but clearly it hurt his knee. Now, the players are off on Monday in Dallas, but players who are injured are required to come in for treatment. Dez Bryant didn't show up on Monday. Tuesday is when they reconvene for a conditioning session and team meetings. Dez Bryant was not at the team meetings on Tuesday. Since he wasn't there on Monday, they had scheduled an MRI for him on Tuesday, but he showed up too late at the facility to have the MRI taken. So the Cowboys go into Wednesday without an MRI for a final diagnosis on exactly what it is wrong with him. Head coach Jason Garrett is telling the media that they're still in the process of evaluating the knee. He refuses to say whether or not an MRI has been taken or where they are in the process. They do get the results yesterday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, and it shows that he has a hairline fracture of the tibial plateau, and that's where the tibia connects with the knee. My medical degree tells me that, and also talking to others that since I don't have a medical degree, and it's on the lateral side. So that is something that, while they have not ruled him out for Sunday's game in San Francisco, it is highly unlikely he'll be able to play Sunday. Could be out 2 to 3 weeks. And the bottom line on all this is because he did not show up for team meetings and an MRI, he has been fined by the team.
Okay, the national perspective, it feels like, is the blame is being placed on Dez Bryant for not showing up, missing in action. Is that fair to blame Dez Bryant in this?
Oh, I think a player has a responsibility when injured, knowing what the protocol is for a particular team when they are trying to ascertain what the injury is. I think he has an obligation not only to himself but his teammates to be as diligent and take that as seriously as possible and gather all the information that you can you can address the injury as quickly and as swiftly as possible as far as what the rehab is needed, and two, to allow your team strategically to prepare for the next game.
Yeah, I don't understand whatever the motivation is for Dez Bryant or lack of motivation. If you have an injury, find out what it is. Why is he being coy or deceptive with this?
Well, that's what's perplexing about it, and all I can tell you is where he wasn't. I don't know where he was on Monday and Tuesday. We did see him briefly at the facility yesterday. He was in good spirits. He was moving with a noticeable limp, but appeared to be in good spirits on his way to the weight room. Someone shouted, "Well, are you going to play Sunday?" And he said, "I might." That is all the contact we had with him. So at this stage, Dez Bryant hasn't really spoken publicly to address why he wasn't there Monday or Tuesday to have this MRI done more quickly, and why and also again don't want to minimize why he wasn't there for team meetings on Tuesday when everyone else was.
How is fan morale with the Cowboys?
I'm sorry, how is
morale with the Cowboy fans?
With the fans, very high right now because they're seeing something they haven't seen in a while. They're seeing a young quarterback not only win games in the present, but give them hope for the future once Tony Romo no longer plays. So I think and the expectations were not that high going in based off of coming off a 4-12 season. And the fact that Dak Prescott was viewed as a developmental guy who really no one anticipated would step on the field this year, especially the Cowboys. I mean, when training camp started, this guy was the number 3 quarterback. Now he's been as close to flawless as you can be to start an NFL career. So with him and Ezekiel Elliott, I think Cowboys fans are pretty excited and are watching something, a newness unfold that they haven't seen in a while. So I think the excitement is really ramped up here and is pretty high. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if this tamps down on it at all. Dez Bryant, came into this league with some issues as far as whether how disciplined he was, questions about his punctuality and showing up for meetings. He's made great strides in that area. What happened this week was clearly a step back. Is it a step back and a bump in the road, or is it a precursor of more to come, would be the question. And I think at this stage everyone is willing to acknowledge it as a poor lapse of judgment, but not indicative of a larger trend.
I'll leave you with this, David. Is there a scenario where Dak Prescott can win this job outright?
I think that is over time, yes. If you're talking about in the time frame of when Tony Romo was cleared medically to return,
yeah,
I think that would be difficult. I would be surprised if Tony Romo doesn't go back in there. Now, that being said, I think that Dak Prescott in his play can elongate how long Tony Romo was out and then being cautious with his return. But I still think the way this would play out over time is Tony Romo would come back and he would have to play at a high level and also show he can stay on the field in order to retain the job. But I do believe that Tony Romo will have the job when he comes back, yes.
Great stuff, David. Thanks for joining us, and we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's
Bye.
David Moore, Dallas Morning News Cowboys reporter.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.